Speaker number 4, Royale L. Rodden. Rajas, Royale L. Rodden.
Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and anyone who has ever held a grudge. 1989, Brooklyn, New York, about 7 a.m. My mother was dressing my grandmother for a doctor's appointment, and me for my second week of first grade. So, and I stand in the mirror, brushing my hair, admiring how much of a man I'm becoming. I touched the little hairs under my chin, and I'm also upset with my grandmother because she didn't let me go play next door with Jonathan. So I'm gonna show her. When she's leaving for the doctor, she's gonna want kissy and hugs, and I'm not gonna give it to her. Royale, come say goodbye to Grandma. No, I'm not saying goodbye. I don't want to. See, both my mother and grandmother were descendants of Haiti, and they didn't speak any English, so it really sounded like this. Royale, venez là, où pour aller? Et pas qu'à docteur. Venir by Punya. No! Pas de travail. Pas vrai. Ladies and gentlemen, my first lesson, experience, in regret and grudges came. My grandmother was admitted to the hospital, and she never found her way out. She passed away from a brain tumor. So, I can remember as I walk down the aisle of a funeral home, holding my mother's hand, I see Dada laying in the casket for light blue dress and her hands clasped over her stomach. I say, Dada, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to not give you kissy and hugs. I'm so sorry. Please come back to me. I'll do my homework next time, please. But it was too late. Dada was gone. I could not say, I'm sorry. 1993, summertime, Brooklyn, New York. Boy, did I think I was a man. I was so much of a man. I stayed outside the window and I was looking at Jackie, my future girlfriend. I couldn't wait to show Jackie how much muscles I had. All winter, I was doing push-ups outside. So I lived with my mother and her uncle, Antonio. And I yelled, Antonio, can I go play downstairs? And Antonio met me with a no, a solid one. The ones that you get no reasons why. It's just a no. And to a child, when you say no with no explanation, the child thinks you're being mean. So I looked back at Antonio and I said, I hate you. I could notice the pain and hurt in his eyes as he walked away from me. And me, I ran to the room, pouting and crying. So much for the man I was becoming. That following year, my Uncle Antonio passed away from AIDS. And I remember the second lesson in virtually as I walked on the house in the room. Again, see Antonio laying in a brown casket in a navy blue suit his hands clasped in white gloves. I said, Antonio, I love you. I didn't mean I hate you. I was just upset. And now I understand, I'm older. You didn't want me to go play outside because the neighborhood was dangerous. Please, come back. But that too fell on deaf ears. It was too late. Antonio could not hear me. May 2009, Brooklyn, New York was gone from me. I was now in Brockton, Massachusetts. And I thought I was a real man. I was a man. I was so much of a man that I didn't have to follow anybody's rules, anybody's laws. So much that I landed myself with 3 years behind prison walls. And the pain I was causing my mother was unbearable. My family counted me out. I was a lost cause, except for one person, who was my aunt, Tati Jo. She promised me that she would look after my mother while I was away, and she insisted on visiting me, sending me letters, and sending me money. Well, 2 years passed, and Tati Jo didn't send me $1 or a visit, or a card, as if she was the one who put me in prison. I put myself in prison. So I was upset, and upon my release, Tati Jo called me and welcomed me home. And I said, thank you. And she said, well, I will talk to you when you come down to New York to visit your mom. I said, okay, but deep inside, I held a grudge. What I didn't understand was while I was in there holding grudges, Tati Jo was losing a battle to cancer. How could I be so selfish to anybody? As I walked down the aisle again, I see Tati Jo laying in the casket. I said, sorry, Tati Jo. I didn't mean to hold grudges. But like everybody else, it fell on deaf ears. Tati Jo was gone, my uncle was gone, Dada was gone. Ladies and gentlemen, why do we hold grudges? Every time you hold a grudge, you rent space to grudges, you rent space to bitterness, pain, hate, grudges. Grudges don't heal, grudges hurt. Never again would I ever hold a grudge. I lost too many loved ones. I'd rather spend my time building solid memories and not grudges. Madame Countess.